Now, we've been talking about it, though we don't quite understand what it's about. No. In fact, we've been talking it down without totally understanding what it's about.
Yes.
It's about AI. Have you ever wanted to chat, for instance, to your favourite celebrity? And who would that be? You might be able to do that now, sort of, thanks to Meta Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg. He's enlisted big names in sport and music and fashion to front a new range of AI chatbots on his company's social media apps.
Yeah, so he's getting on board with AI by revealing 28 specialist chatbots based on famous stars. Don't understand. Let's talk to Andrew Eborn, who knows all about these things. Andrew, what is this?
Oh, isn't it glorious? Welcome. It's lovely to see you again. And it was, as I predicted, on this very
Thanks for having us,
table. Oh, it's very good. It's very good. It's always a thrill. So Mark Zuckerberg, what it is, it's the first in-person conference he's had since the pandemic. And he announced that it is. And
it seems as though he's always around.
He is always around because he's always there in your face, literally. 28 specialists, people, celebrities, will become the voice of these different chatbots. So rather than this automated, robotic-sounding voice, you can have stars such as Kendall Jenner and Snoop Dogg and Naomi as well, which is fantastic, because she doesn't normally like getting out there in the public. And what we love about this is not just about asking them questions, but it's also about entertainment. So if you can have your favourite celebrity... You were talking about David McCallum earlier.
Yeah.
David McCallum was actually married to my aunt, Jill Ireland, which is...
Oh, yes.
Yes, you see.
Wow.
And she
Your
then
aunt
married...
was Jill Ireland?
Yes, and she then married Charles Bronson afterwards.
That's right. How amazing.
Yeah,
sorry, that was...
No, that's all right.
That's going off on a total tangent.
But you're talking about stars and so on and so forth, and this is what... at the moment in Hollywood, they've still got the actors' strike going. They've sorted out the writers' strike. Part of that was to do with AI and how that's going to replace so many jobs. The reality is this: if you come to a licensing arrangement, which is what's happened with Zuckerberg and these wonderful celebrities, about using your voice, then you can do that and solve. You can have, I can offer you immortality, is what they're sort of telling
I'm
to do.
not terribly sure whether that's very nice. I mean, you mentioned David McCallum.
Yes.
Obviously, he wasn't able to record his voice in the way that they're going to use it. But I would still find it very spooky being able to talk to him now.
Well, it's interesting because it depends on what you want to do, because we've looked at this previously in Korea, for example.
Oh,
they've resurrected the dead, haven't they?
Yeah.
So you can go along with your relatives and they can record memories. So it's not just about that, but you can answer questions. What I like, they've announced this week as well, you might remember James Alexander Gordon, JAG, who was the voice of BBC's classified football results for 40 years.
That's right, James Alexander Gordon.
That's right. And it was the way Eric Morecambe, East Fife, 4-4-5. You may remember that sort of stuff. Yeah. Well, that's now been resurrected. So they've used his voice. There's a chap, I've been in touch with him, Tim Huckle, who's done this, and you can go on the website and you can get the results read in
by
Jag's
James
voice.
Alexander Gordon?
Yes, and it's been all his family. Julia, his widow, has approved it all to make that make sense.
Wow.
So it's glorious. Also, I talked about Bruce Willis, so people who can no longer act, and he has aphasia and so on and so forth, he licensed his face and his voice to a Russian telecom company, for which he was paid millions.
You'd do anything for money, wouldn't you? Honestly,
somewhere, there you go. But that's the interesting thing. So if you look at that, if it can give people longevity and a different way of making money, that makes sense.
But isn't it a bit weird, the idea that it's like the movie stars of today could be the movie stars of all time?
Yes, absolutely.
What happens to anybody else?
Well, that's the difficulty.
The new talent.
And, yes, you don't need it. And that's the reality. If you can turn around, and this is what they're arguing about, the big fight at the moment with actors all around the world, if you can record somebody for just one day, and then you've got their name and image in every possible scenario, you'll never need them again. No writers, no problems in the dressing room, no people not turning up.
Well, but you're only talking about their voice, aren't you?
No, not at all. No. It's absolutely... You can take their image, you can replicate it. So Bruce Willis does exactly that. He basically took his whole face. We work in the world of holograms as well, and if you haven't seen it yet, go down and see the Avatar, the ABBA's fantastic show, where you look and feel as though you're really with the artists. And that's what we love about it. This is the future. The future of entertainment is that every possible thing can be replicated.
So if a movie maker at the moment, a director, said, I want Bruce Willis to appear in my next movie, you can actually do that. He's licensed his image, his voice and everything. They could actually create... Would it be convincing?
Oh, no, it's totally convincing. So also, this happened at the moment. So Harrison Ford, for example.
I was going to say, the new Indiana Jones movie's got Harrison Ford as a younger man.
Yeah, so he's in his 70s.
Phenomenal.
He's in his late 70s. They de-aged him to 35. for the first half hour of the movie. And they can do all of that now. The great thing is, if I want to wake up to Anne Diamond every morning, which of course we do together with Stephen, I can do that. We can, all the footage
But it
is
means
already recorded.
I could be at home in bed asleep.
Yes.
But still also presenting this programme.
And earning money. Now, how appetising is that? There's no 3:30 alarm call. We were talking about the morning show. Wouldn't that be glorious? And you can do that. You can replicate with existing footage.
I can begin to see the danger, though, as well, from others saying...
No, I can see the appeal if you're the person involved,
Yes.
but the danger for anybody
else.
Well, and that's the worrying thing. We talk about identity theft at the moment, and people, you think you get an email. Now you can get somebody's voice phoning. So if your child or friend or your parents or whatever phone you up and say, I'm in trouble, I'm on different things, and they can even do an image, so you can have these fake videos.
So how do we protect ourselves against that?
Well, consult us is the reality, because so often, this is why we're talking about the threats of AI. And we're going to have an AI summit at Bletchley Park at the beginning of November. Rishi Sunak has invited all the world leaders, some of them are coming. But the reality is that we need to look at how we can identify this sort of stuff. We're living in a diseased information age at the moment, and it's going to get worse.
But it's in effect deep fake, as it's known, will become almost the normality.
Oh, absolutely. And you remember the Pope in a puffer with that sort of stuff. But you also have Zelensky, who was surrendering to Putin in a video.
My goodness me.
All this sort of, you have Trump saying all sorts of extraordinary things. That was true. But you can have this. And so the question, you have to question everything.